What's shaking, guys? It's Felly bringing you another Clash of Clans video, and today we are getting into our top defenses for CWL in our February war. Alright, so let's get into this. I want to kind of blow through this. Our top defenses, Mike ended up getting a massive 38% defense against him. And this was a ground attack, and this guy just kind of comes in, and you know, he's got a halfway decent attack strategy, but for whatever reason he just could not get it. And I'm really proud of how this ended up, because 38% is just not really good. He did end up getting the Town Hall, which I guess for that purpose alone he ended up getting the star, but it did not end up yielding any kind of victory for them because they ended up losing. So yeah, Mike, a Town Hall 12 versus a Town Hall 12, and it's not like the guy had weak heroes. I mean, the dude had really good heroes. 60 for the king, 58 for the queen, and 29 for the grand warden. I mean, almost maxed out. You can see there, the troops just are getting incinerated by all that damage. The eagle, man, that eagle just dropped havoc on those troops. And then sure enough, that tornado trap with that double cannon hitting on that. Now, you always hear me preach, make sure your cannons and your mortars are set to double or triple for war. You never want to leave those undone, because that's the exact reason. Sure enough, you know, the guy tries to come in and get a couple extra percentage points, and, you know, with the eagle sitting there in the middle, it doesn't matter where the sniping is going on, it will find those units and it will take them out. So there you go. Very, very nicely done defense by Mike. Excellent base layout for him. Now I'm going to go to day 5 for Feldy. He ended up having a 69% 1-star against his base. Now this was a hog queen walk attack. I don't quite know what happened, but you know, they do use that coconut loon, which I'm sure he knew that something would be at the corner there. It did end up taking out the loon versus one of the healers, but I am going to just 2 times this because we know it's simply a 1-star, and I just want to show you just how bad some of these attacks were. Now, this isn't to say that they're bad attacks in terms of the guys didn't prepare or didn't plan. You know, sometimes you do your best and you just don't end up winning. So I think what ended up happening was that he just took too long. Like, while that multi-target inferno is going on and hitting, he really should have brought the hogs in, and he should have like brought the cavalry in. But when you don't have anything to help defend these hogs and tank for them other than heals, you know, there's just too much inside of Town Hall 11 to give that up. And then the eagle pops onto the golemites up there, and then, you know, it's basically just game over. There's not enough in there, and my units are too strong and too powerful. They are maxed out for Town Hall 11. You won't survive that. Now, he did end up taking out that eagle, but sure enough, he can't get that star for the Town Hall, and he gave up. So, Town Hall 11 on Town Hall 11, a 1-star. Now, let's go to day 5 as well, and number 10. Oh god, this was bad. This was my attack against number 10. It was a Town Hall 10 on Town Hall 10, and I should have been easily able to get that 2-star. Sure enough, I did not. I only ended up getting a 1-star. Now you can see kind of, I tried to bring out the clan castle troops, then I had my siege machine, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to go in, and this should be fairly easy, except the wall wrecker didn't even get to the second layer of walls. So that in itself just botched the attack. And then I didn't have any jump spells, which I should have brought, which I was kicking myself for, because I knew I could have gotten into this unit right in here, which would have given that Town Hall destruction. So I walk all the way around it, I'm thinking, okay, maybe at some point the queen will, but nope. Queen doesn't do anything, and the queen ends up getting fried by the Expo. And sure enough, that storage unit of the gold storage unit, beefy, tanky, while I'm attacking that with the queen, she's getting blasted. So as you can tell, really smart placement for some of these defenses. So that was a major fail on my part. Again, just kind of one of those things. So those are all ground attacks. Now I want to bring you some air attacks. Day 7. Let's see here. Darkspawn ended up getting attacked by their number 2. So, okay, it's Town Hall 12 on Town Hall 12. And this guy kind of comes in. And now Darkspawn's base is not a max level by any means. And, he just has really smart placements of items in his base. So I'm just going to kind of 2 times this now. This guy's trying to be really methodical and surgical. Took out 2 of those air Ds, and then the other 2, he's kind of coming in with the hounds, and then he's just going to go ham and think that the spam of all these will end up just netting him at least a 2-star. But sure enough, the Eagle, all the Inferno towers, the Teslas, all of that stuff, it just decimates, and that Archer Queen ends up really doing some work. Those lava pups kind of are just scattered throughout, and sure enough, the Queen, she's able just to kind of clean up and do her thing. So while those little pups are trying to do some work, again, it's just not tanky enough, it's not beefy enough. Sure enough, the Eagle is still up, gets that queen, gets all of those archers, and then sure enough, the Tesla within the town hall ends up killing the queen. Gotta love that Giga Tesla when you are on defense. So awesome 1-star Town Hall 12. Let's go over to day 1. Bell got attacked by an air raid, and he ended up getting a 58% 1-star. Now you'll see kind of a very similar base layout for our Town Hall 12s. I think next we'll probably mix it up a little bit. I am not that popular in my videos at all yet, so I'm not really too concerned about our base layouts being a top secret, but I do like to kind of protect some of our layouts. But sure enough, so the guy ends up popping his Grand Warden's ability at a really awkward time. Like, he has all those balloons right there, and they're able to just kind of keep going, but he pops it when no units were even being attacked. So they just kind of come down, and sure enough, the Grand Warden dies, and then the Eagle just kind of latches on to these balloons, and they are no match for that Eagle artillery level 3 upgrade. It is beast. And then his baby drag was a hoss to also help take out some of those guys. And then sure enough, the attacking baby drag comes in, and then there's just not enough manpower in this base with the queen and everything else. The Eagle's still up. That Expo ends up taking out the queen and everything. So a really awesome defense by Bell. Again, that base, it's great. It's a great layout, and you have to know what to do in those situations. You can't just kind of go in and spam and think everything's going to be hunky-dory. All right. Woo. Something just fell. Or ice. We are in a blizzard right now. So, all right. Day 2, we've got Papa's base being attacked. He is a Town Hall 11. So I did want to show you 2 Town Hall 12s just because I thought it was kind of fun to see some fails at Town Hall 12. All right. So here's Papa's base. Town Hall 11 basically maxed. Guy ends up lightning spelling these air Ds. And what would have been smarter for him is to actually take out this one right here with that other air sweeper. but he didn't. So he ends up kind of coming in, and he's, I guess, trying to cut a funnel, but the funnel doesn't quite get cut how he wants. And sure enough, the blimp comes in, and he probably should have had a stone slammer or Valks within the blimp, because when he lets go of the blimp, or it makes its way to the town hall, the loons are going to attack defenses, not that town hall. So sure enough, the town hall is just sitting there still nice and pretty, whereas a Valk could have at least done some really significant damage to it, and to maybe say an Inferno. But sure enough, the Clan Castle troops, they're still alive too. And so 60% 1-star, awesome defense. All right, our last one is new bests. Day 7's base, he ends up having a just barely 50% 1-star air attack done on him. He is a Town Hall 10, so this guy comes in, he's like, oh, I see that nice little air defense, I'm going to take that out with the Wall Wrecker, and then he gets some added value with that Tesla, and then sure enough, our Clan Castle troops come in. The that nice little strategic balloon ends up taking out that air sweeper, but we do have our dragon yet from the Clan Castle, and he's going to try to attack with minions, which I don't know why he didn't just throw down his queen in the first place. But the queen ends up taking quite a good bit of damage from that cannon that was on the side. Sure enough, the double cannon, kind of is sitting there and does some damage to those archers. Now the archer queen, she has, her attacking is just going ham, and there's no real defenses attacking her until that very last moment. But as you saw up ahead, those balloons just end up dying a tragic death, and the guy's kind of coming in, and he's like, crap, I really need a 50%. Sure enough, he ends up right over here getting that 50%, and time runs out, and he got a 1-star. So I think we had really good base layouts this time. It was a lot of fun. And I really hope that you guys learned some really cool tips and tricks from defenses, how these people are attacking your bases, and hopefully this next go around we see even better base design and ingenuity for attackers. So until then, Feldy, peace.